Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the subject line. Please welcome to the stage your host for tonight, Manuel Martin.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Great, awesome. It's like to hear. Give it up to Stab for letting us have this awesome venue. Give it up, give it up. Happy to be here. Before I get started, I do have a question. Has anybody in here ever been caught cheating? What, you guys just haven't been caught? Is that what's going on here? When I was younger, my mom, she got caught cheating on my dad with a dude that was 16 years old. I was 12. I didn't like the guy, but, you know, he did have an Xbox. It's pretty cool. I didn't like the guy. You know how weird it is when you realize your future stepdad, you used to see him on the big kids' playground? Like, I remember being in second grade and playing kickball with my friends, and our ball bounced over to the big kids' playground, and then he grabbed it, and like a gentleman, bounced it back to us. Little did I know, 5 years later, like a gentleman, he'd be bouncing his balls off my mommy. You know, to make things extra weird, because him and I playing Halo together wasn't weird enough. My mom was a teacher, and this guy, let's just say he got straight A's. That's not legally, that's all I'm allowed to say. No, it's weird, man. It's weird. I've accepted it. You guys can too. Like, I've accepted the fact that my mom would have lost the TV show How to Catch a Predator. It's weird, man. I think some of you guys think I'm lying, huh? The subject line is family, so I'm supposed to talk about family. You think I'm 36 years old and doing stand-up comedy because I missed a family picnic? I didn't have a family. I don't know, man. It was weird. It was a weird childhood, you know. But the more I think about it, like, I'm not entirely convinced that what my mom did should be considered cheating, you know. I think as her son, yeah, definitely, she was cheating, you know, as her child. But as a comic, wow, I mean, I feel like a strong argument can be made that what she was doing was tutoring. It's just sex ed extra credit, you know? I don't know, man. Like, you know that some teachers go the extra mile for their students. You know? You hear them say that all the time, like, that teacher went the extra mile. Well, my mom, she went the extra 6 inches. I love the uncomfortable, everybody can see me chuckles in here. Just chuckle away, man. Oh, my mom was a good teacher, though. She really was. You know, she would stay after school with him to help him study and help him get an A, and he'd stay after school with her to help her get a D. You know? Together they put the dick in dedicated. Yeah, my mom fucked a 16-year-old. Of course I'm going to talk about it. You think I'm not going to talk about it? Get over it. It's happening. But I don't know, man. I used to wonder why my mom cheated on my dad, you know? I used to wonder why. Then I got older, and I did some mushrooms, started remembering some shit. Like, I remember this one time, my mom got a fresh-ass haircut. Super excited to show my dad, right? This was a big deal, because when I was 9, my mom had stage 4 lymphoma. Almost died. Did the chemo, lost all of her hair. Literally, it was bad, right? So then when her hair grew back and she could actually get a haircut, very excited. So she gets her haircut, she does the layers, she does the perm. It's 1999, she's looking Mariah Carey fresh. You know what I'm talking about? She's looking good. She's in the kitchen, waiting to show my dad. My dad comes home from work. She shows him her hair, and my fucking dad goes, well, nice hair, but the face is the same. I was like, who says that to their almost dead wife? Type of guy's about to get cheated on. That's... I don't know, man. I don't blame my mom for wanting to not be with my dad. I get it. Blame her for cheating, though, you know? But at the same time, it's like, you know, if I had I'm married. If I had colon cancer, and then they ripped out my colon, and then I couldn't get a boner for 2 years, and then I finally get a boner, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to show my wife my boner. And I'm waiting in the kitchen for her to come home. She comes home. I show her this rock-hard boner, and then she's like, yeah, nice boner. Still 4 inches, though. Fuck that bitch. I'm cheating on her with the 4-inch dick, you know? Y'all are cool. I dig it. I dig it. I'll tell you guys, this is the family line, so I'm just going to do all my family jokes. All my family jokes. Tell you guys how I got my name. So my name's Emmanuel Martin, which is a pretty weird name for a white dude, right? So my mom named me Manuel after a teenage crush she had on this Mexican immigrant boy that got away. You know, or he got deported. I don't know. Either way, He disappeared. I don't know what the fuck happened. Technically, I was still in my dad's balls, so I don't know. But so she named me after him. So what happened is my mom grew up on a farm. And during the summer, Manuel's dad would come work in the fields and harvest tomatoes. And while Papi was busy harvesting tomatoes, little Manuelito was harvesting my mom's peaches. Just say you got a good taste of my mom's American pie. Say my mom likes her eggs like she likes her ovaries, scrambled with chorizo. She likes her dick like she likes her men down south. My mom, no, I'm gonna stop talking shit. She puts the whore in horchata. That right there, that's all a lie. That's not how I got my name. That's just something stupid I wanted to say. It's comedy. You gotta say stupid shit. I'll tell you how I really got my name. This is for real. I got my name. I was named after my dad, a dude my mom married when she was 17 years old. Right? That's a mistake, getting married at 17. To make it a bigger mistake, it was her first cousin. Yeah, that's how arranged marriages work. Too young, too related. Every fucking time. And then my parents did what most married people do, right? They boned, they made a baby. And hi, I'm the baby. Which means you guys are looking at a man that is his own cousin. I like to wake up in the morning and just look at myself in the mirror and say, "What's up, cuz?" I don't know, it's weird, dude. It's weird having parents that are cousins. Some of you guys might think I'm lying about that too, huh? My parents being cousins. You know I'm not lying, because when I walked up here, I bet a few of you guys thought to yourself, that motherfucker got an inbred nose. It's like, no, this is a thoroughbred nose. Y'all wouldn't understand, you bunch of half-breed muggles, mudbloods. No, I definitely, like, you only get a nose this big if your parents grew up together playing Red Rover, and then became adults and played Bend Over, Red Rover. I don't know, man. It's weird. I think plenty of dudes would bang their cousins, though. Like, when I look around this room, I see a few cousin fuckers in here. For sure, man. 100%. Like, come on, guys. To the guys. Like, we've all been to that family wedding. Like, you look like you got some hot-ass cousins. You got some hot-ass cousins. Like, we've all been to that family wedding, right? And that hot cousin walks by, and you just think to yourself, damn, she's how much cousin? My dad was like, shit, I'm going to find out. But what I'm saying, guys, is if you ever find yourself, that you guys are laughing too hard. You guys got a cousin that's hot as shit, huh? I know mine. Her name is Jeanette. Big-ass tits. She's hot. I'm not going to lie. If I was on... Look, dude, all I'm saying is if you're ever stranded on a deserted island with your hot female cousin, y'all are going to make a big-nosed baby. 100%. 100%. I don't know how much time I did. I think that was close to 10 minutes, which is what I'm supposed to do. You guys ready for your next comedian? All right, the next comedian. I just met him tonight. Jordan put him on this show, so that means he's funny. Give it up for my man, Nate.
Thanks. Just met him tonight, huh? Wow, you sound exactly like my dad did, actually. Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight and listen to us comedians talk about our families. And instead of going to therapy, still an option. My dad moved me out here when I was 17 years old. He lives up in Portland with his new family. They seem happier. He moved me in with my aunt, who was a theater director for 50 years, and she's old school, to put it mildly. She loves breaking out into songs from Broadway musicals. She'll smack the shit out of you if you tell her that you don't want to rehearse the scene she wrote. You meaning me. She comes during sad parts in movies. She was the drama teacher at a continuation high school. This old bitch had me doing Shakespeare and improv in front of kids who had been arrested for breaking into cars, kids who had been caught with guns. One kid floated to this country from Cuba on a piece of driftwood, he said. In other words, people who don't really give a fuck about Shakespeare or improv. And yes, I have had milk cartons tossed at my head before. We had this 300-pound 15-year-old kid try to throw a desk at me one time. You know those single-seater desks that have the chair welded into them? Well, his stupid fat ass tried to heckle me while I was going through my routine one day, and I clapped back at him, so he starts trying to work his way out of the desk. He got it to about here before he was restrained, and afterwards, my aunt yelled at me for antagonizing him. She had a Xanax prescription. That was a good time. I would have prescribed her Alzheimer's medication, but I guess that's why I'm not a doctor. But she would toss one of those down my throat whenever the weed wasn't helping. But then, later in the week, she would take her own and she would get barred out and accuse me of stealing them from her. All right, that's enough dogging on my aunt for one night. Usually around this time of year, about once a year, I get my annual phone call from my stepmom. She'll run me through her little stepmom routine. And it's not like the fun, sexy stepmom routine that you see on Pornhub or Brazzers. It's really more of the born again, whole grain cereal, let's all go to the Creed concert stepmom, living room Zumba class stepmom. Just not really my type. But she calls me up about once a year, and she always invites me back up to Portland to see my dad. I don't know. It's been 9 fucking years since I've seen my dad, you guys. It's kind of a record for me. There's a streak going there that I don't really want broken. And plus, the last time me and my dad saw each other, we were having a full-on battle royale in our front yard with all of our fucking neighbors watching. It got pretty graphic. And my dad's a big guy, too. He's about 6'2", 215, and I'm not. My dad's about the same size as a pretty buffed out Will Smith, and I'm about the same size as a malnourished Chris Rock. And throughout the years of our confrontations, he's got a little history of using his size on me, so to speak. So I'm not exaggerating when I tell you he picked my ass up and suplexed me across the driveway like he was Brock fucking Lesnar. Hang on. Brock Lesnar! There we go. And I was a bag of rice. I stumbled my way into the garage. I tried picking up a sledgehammer like I was Triple H. The shit should have been on pay-per-view, honestly. Our neighbors should have paid to watch it. So I don't really know if I'm ready to go back for that. But I was thinking to myself, it's been almost a decade. My dad's starting to get pretty old. And from what I've heard, he's starting to soften up a little bit in his old age, I've been told. And, none of us really know how long we have in this world. So I was thinking this year may actually be the year for me to drive up to Portland and get my fucking rematch from him. You guys think I can take him? Yeah. I think I can too. How do you guys think, based on everything that I've told you, my dad and my stepmom met? Go ahead, throw something out. I'm asking you guys. Was it? Church? Good guess. Anything else? Rehab. No, it wasn't a bar. It wasn't a church. It wasn't rehab. My dad met my stepmom at the Dougie Center. The Dougie Center. Oh, you guys don't know the Dougie Center? Well, first of all, it's not a school where they teach you how to Dougie. No, it's a building up in Portland, Oregon for a very specialized kind of group therapy. Let's say that someone's mom dies in a fire. Well, wouldn't it be great if there was a place for the kid and the surviving parent to go and grieve and mourn with other kids and other parents who are in the same situation? Wouldn't that be nice? Well, my dad took this as a little bit of an opportunity, maybe look in the dating pool a little bit, started to develop a little bit of a thing, all right? Maybe a little bit of a kink for these grieving MILFs in the room. Yeah. One lady had her husband drown. That was a sopping wet tragedy for my dad. My stepmom wasn't the first lady that my dad brought home from group therapy, but she was the last. But it doesn't change the fact that for a solid year, I was getting all these dirty looks from other kids during circle time, and all I did was want to remember my mom. That's okay. God, seriously, think of like how many people were just trying to grieve, and my dad just went and like stuck his dick in the middle of it. Like, what the fuck? Fucking dick. I could tell a clean story before I get done. My Uncle David was probably the funniest person in my family. Is that 1 minute, or do I need to get the fuck out of this house right now? 45 seconds, god damn. I never have a strong closer for this, you guys. Your next comedian, David Rodriguez. David Rodriguez is a very funny young man. I'm very excited to see his set. Thanks.
Keep it going for Nate, everybody. Keep it going. I don't know Nate's dad, but I do know he just taught me how to get laid. Fucking awesome, man. What a genius. Sounds like you had a good dad, honestly. Taught him how to wrestle and fuck? Are you serious? Ridiculous, man. You guys ready for your next comedian? All right, the next guy coming to the stage, super funny. I've been seeing this guy around everywhere. Sometimes I have him on my shows. Give it up for my man, David Rodriguez, everybody.
Yo, yeah, my name's David. I'm recording my set, my phone back there. I'm gonna show it to my mom. Yeah, she's in the car waiting, so she didn't want to come. It's a family show. I hate my family. They don't respect my sleep schedule. If I wake up past 7, I'm a failure. One time I woke up because I heard my grandma sweeping my floor, and it was 4 a.m. and I got really scared. Imagine seeing this coming at you in the dark. El Cucuy for sure. I was like, oh my god, a witch. She was like, oh my god, a little bitch. Freaking Serafina. Any Mexicans here? Yeah, got one right here. Any Mexicans over here on this side of the room? Oh, what's the other? Can I guess the other half? Oh God, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna say you're half Mexican and half Japanese. What is it? Oh, okay, right on. What's your name? Gabe what? Gabe. Wow. Gabe Fong. Trying to think about something funny to say about that, but it's really hard. I think Gabe Fang sounds better. You should try that. I don't know. Yeah, no, for sure. Oh God. My grandpa, he was in prison for attempted murder. Yeah, it's a fun fact. He did a drive-by on a guy that he thought was flirting with my grandma. Yeah, he's protective, and he did the drive-by, and he shot the guy 13 times, and he missed all his shots. But I could see why he missed. It's because he did the drive-by by himself in a stick shift car. And dude, the road was on a hill. Like, he was driving up. And the worst part is that the guy's name is Manuel. So, yeah. My family, they hate that I'm a skinny dude. They think I'm on drugs. They also think I'm a failure because of that. I don't live with my parents or my family. They're on SoCal. And my mom, she'll send me money to buy food. And she'll check the bank statement. And she'll call me. She's like, Mijo, what does Minecraft taste like? I'm like, it tastes good. And what she'll do, my mom, she'll like spam me with food emojis. Like, she'll text me a bunch of food emojis. I guess she thinks that'll like make me hungry or something. I don't know. One night I had a caller. I'm like, Mom, stop! It's weirding eggplants from you. She started sending me her peaches. Fuck. Yeah. When I was in 8th grade, man, last year. No. When I was in 8th grade, my mom, she took away my phone because I got caught ditching school. And at the time, I was like addicted to this game called Clash of Clans. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but I was playing it a lot, and I was pissed. So later that day, I hate to admit this, I pretended to give my mom a hug, but I swung at her, and I missed. And I could tell she was like, "Damn, that was a weak ass punch." Cause she was like, "Mijo, was that a punch?" And my grandma was there. My grandma was like, "No, he didn't do that." But I did. That was humiliating, man. I told my ex that story, and she was like, "Oh my God, would you ever do that to me?" And I'm like, "No, I wouldn't miss." Probably would. You guys ever been in a fight with your loved ones? Physical fight? Oh, why are you pointing at him? Oh, no? Oh. Who has? You said... Nate, you been in a physical fight with a loved one? I don't have time for this. All right. My grandparents, they came to the U.S. illegally from Mexico. Back in the 70s, it was really easy to cross. Like, you could cross and go back because you forgot something. You can be like, "Oh, I forgot, I don't feel like it." And they came, man, and they got an apartment like right next to the border, which is kind of dumb. Like, that's like sneaking food into a movie theater and eating in the lobby. It's like, bro, just go all the way in. Like, the workers are gonna be like, "Wait, those jelly beans don't belong here." Eventually, though, my grandpa, he did get pulled over by the cops, and he did get deported. It's pretty intimidating when you do get pulled over. Like, you pretend to act more sober even though you're sober. You use words like "good evening." But yeah, man, they pulled him over, Border Patrol. They arrested him, and he told the cops that my grandma also doesn't have papers, and she wasn't even in the car. Like, that's kind of annoying. I don't know why. I asked my grandma why he did that, and she said she doesn't know. But I think it's because I've seen photos of them, of what they look like at that time, and like, my grandma is like way out of his league. So I was thinking, oh man, maybe he did that because he knew if he gave her a chance to escape, then she would take it. I don't know, because my grandma's friends, like, they knew my grandpa wasn't shit. He did not look good. Like, my grandma looked like his caregiver. Because of him, I look like this. Freaking Leopoldo. Okay. This next one's kind of weird. I matched with this girl on Tinder, and she told me to come over one night. And when that happens, when somebody texts you that, you like cancel everything you're doing. And I was making tortillas with my grandma, and she just kept talking to me about growing up in Mexico, and I didn't want to hear that. I wanted to leave. And I think I said, dang, that's crazy, probably like 10 times. And then finally I found the right moment to leave. I told her, I'm like, no, I have to go. Like, I'm meeting up with this girl. And she started clapping. I think she was like, finally. And on my way to this girl's place, I was driving there. She texted me, hey, by the way, I'm actually not 21. I'm 17. Yeah. Somebody in the audience one time said, did you speed up? I did not. I drove back home. I forgot the condoms. You're looking at me with the straightest face ever. You're a good person. No, I didn't do that, but I did drive back home, and I did tell my grandma that she was underage. And I guess, like, my grandma didn't think that was underage. Because I guess back then, like in Mexico, like you'd be married by then. Because I think, like, my grandma was 15 and my grandpa was like 21. Isn't that something, man? Yeah, I don't really have an ending to that joke. It's just, it's pretty wild. I caught my grandma on the porch one time sniffing a canister. I thought it was weed. It was actually Vicks Vapor Rub. Do you guys know what Vicks is? Okay. If you're Hispanic, I'm sorry, Vaporub. My grandma, she loves her Vicks. She treats it like it's her favorite weed. Bro, the way she opens it, she's like, smell it. Smell it, mijo. And I think she likes it when I get sick, because then she gets to, like, put it on me. And, like, with Vicks, you know, you're supposed to put it, like, on your chest or on your back. Like, she shoves it up my nose. I mean, it works, so I'm not going to complain. The scary part, though, is how she takes it out of the jar. Oh, my God. She's like this. Ready, mijo? Stay still. Now go to sleep. I like a bowling ball. I could see my grandma being one of those prostate doctors. Ready, senor? Or a lesbian? I shouldn't have ended on that. All right, my name is Dave Rodriguez. Thank you.
Keep it going for David, everybody. The one Mexican that doesn't know how a quinceañera works, huh? Okay, only I find that funny. Okay, whatever. I don't care. You guys ready for your next comedian? Yeah. Come on, man. That was weak. I said, are you guys ready for your next comedian? All right, the next comedian coming to the stage is super funny. I've done a bunch of shows with this lady. Give it up for Asia May, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. How many family folks in here tonight? Married couples? No? Oh, thank God. That's going to hurt some married folks' feelings. I was going to talk about the institution of marriage and how I want to just say, fuck it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know if you guys like it and you just haven't found it, but fuck marriage, okay? And fuck those kids, too, that you have with the people that you married. They're a bit of a hassle. They don't fucking grow up very soon. I have a bunch of kids I pushed out of this. Just created quite a bit of character up in here with all of the family that I made in here. It's not normal anymore, okay? You guys, my oldest will be 27 tomorrow. He is 6'5", okay? The next one is 21, 6'3". Then I got a little midget 18-year-old, and I have a little 16-year-old that's fashioned like me with more ass and tits, and I'm a little afraid. Thank God for this fluidity that they're experiencing this generation. I'm like, I love asexual. You're not gonna be sucking dicks in the bathroom like mommy was in high school, huh? Great. Won't be having your first at 17. Fantastic. Fantastic. I made them. I was married to their dad for 13 years. It was what it was. My problem was feeding them after they started to grow taller and bigger. And around that time, inflation happened, and cereal bags are not $2 anymore, you guys. This is not how you feed 6 children, all right? You got to get rid of them. How do you get rid of them? A bunch of boys. Anybody have adult, semi-adult children in here? You do? How old are they? Sweet. When they go through puberty, were you confident they get the fuck out at some point? They find a woman? Oh, damn. Well, I have boys, and not to make it weird or anything, but this is my experience, and I'm going to fucking say it because we're in a free space on Broadway at Stab Comedy Theater. My boys can't dance, all right? I have seen the motion in the ocean, and it is not what I would want as a woman, so I was like, what about the size of the ship? All right. And how do you determine that with your fucking kids? It's weird. It's a weird thought, but it's an honest thought. I don't care if you guys judge me. I wanted to know how big my kids' dicks were, okay? Without really knowing, but just having an idea. Like, if you ain't got the motion in the ocean, you better have the fucking junk in the trunk or whatever it is they say. I don't know, but I didn't know how to ask. And one of my kids, like, I was like, all right, he's got hair under his armpits. That means he's got some on his balls. Maybe he's got a full-size penis. I opened the door in the morning to see if I could see a circus tent under the blanket. Like, never caught him with his morning wood. Never did. And so he must have caught on to it at some point in time, because one day he comes downstairs wrapped in a towel and he's like, hey, Mom. And he does this like faux fumble where it's like, and the towel came off and it's swinging. It's swinging down the stairs. And I was like, oh my God, oh no. I was doing this though. I was like, oh no, what are you doing? Put it away. Found out that day I'm the proud parent of at least one kid I can get rid of. Like, that one is going to dick somebody down. That one is certainly going to make it happen. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck you guys. You're not going to remember me tomorrow. My hair will be different. I will be wearing a wig and a waist trainer. Probably not. So I raised all these kids with this dude, right? Married for 13 years. Raised 6 children together. And he left me. He left me after all of that. Me, you guys. I'm not going to I don't want to stand to the side so you can see the 1-to-1 ratio between my ass and stomach, because that might have been part of it. She was a little sexier in the hips and stomach than I am, but he had to buy her my titties, okay? That's what happened. He left me for a woman, and I was born in 79, so I'm somewhat of an 80s baby. You'll have to forgive me because I grew up in rural Georgia where fucking racism existed, and so did colorism, so I don't like light-skinned bitches, okay? All right? I'm just telling y'all my truth. I got a bunch of light-skinned bitches that are my children, but their grandma's white. I had no control over that. Well, I probably did, but I don't know. I'll talk to my therapist about that tomorrow. He left me for a light-skinned bitch, and I was kind of jealous because, do you guys know Beyonce? That's what she looked like from a distance, but up close it was like, say. That was where I found my joy. It's like, oh, she looks like a horse in the face. Here's where things get a little bit interesting. That wasn't the worst part, that she was a light-skinned bitch. The worst part, this side of the Mississippi and this side of the American River, because Placer County feels differently about these things. He married his stepsister. See, that's the response out here. In Placer, they're like, woo! Sister, brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, we don't care. Sheeps, dogs, I don't know. I don't know what they do up that mountain. So he left me for his stepsister, light-skinned bitch. back in Georgia, us country folk call light-skinned black people red bones, okay? And I started doing comedy after this thing happened to me because it was pain. And my very first joke was, what do you call a light-skinned girl that fucks her brother? A redneck bone. That's what you... That's what you call her. You guys will think about that later, maybe. Settle it. The even more fucked up part about it is he told the kids you can't call her auntie anymore. After all of their years of that being their auntie and those being their cousins, their fucking dad that decided to start fucking his sister said, don't call her auntie anymore. And they said, well, should we call her mom? And I throat chopped it. Throat chopped it. That's what I'm referring to it as. A kid, I fucking throat chopped the kid that said, should we call her mom? Because fuck no. What the fuck else has she done besides her brother, okay? But it mattered to me that we find something to call this fucking bitch. So, I'm all about family. Don't call her by her first name. That's not proper. You can't call her mom, obviously. Too many Kaiser co-pays. So what are we supposed to call her? And I had to put energy into the universe. And the way I do that is by doing Kegels. Okay, don't judge me. I told you guys how many kids I pushed out of here. Every time I meditate, you can see my shoulders moving and my crotch at the same time. It's like, that is what I do. So I'm a nurse in the daytime, and I've seen a prolapsed vagina fall out. I don't want mine falling out, okay? So I was doing my fucking Kegels. I was making pancakes for the kids. And my daughter, that day, she said, Mom, can you pass me the syrup? And this was a long time ago. I'm not going to lie to you guys, all right? This joke happened like 9 years ago. And I looked at that syrup bottle, and I said, I have the answer to your question. Call the bitch Ain't Ya Mama. That is her name from here on out. Not changing that punchline to Pearl Milling Company. I don't care. It's gentrified Oak Park. I'm still on the Ain't Ya Mama shit. I don't care. So the last thing I'll tell you guys is about my short tenure as a nurse, because this is how I provide for my family. And like I said before, if you don't know this, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to have a vagina for something to prolapse. So do your Kegels, all right? And I have a theory that if you look other women in the eye when you're on your period, then you become the alpha period, okay? So in my experience as a nurse, like, I'm not a real nurse. I'm not the kind of nurse that knows how to do shit. I look up a lot of stuff on YouTube, okay? And one day, they came up to me because I was the only RN in the house, and they said, Asia, we need you to go push this pussy back in, all right? That's not what they said, but when they did, I knew what they meant. It was a prolapsed vagina, and I was doing Kegels, and I was like, why? Why is it out? And I was terrified, like I said, because I pushed all these kids out of here. It's all these muscles that could fall apart. All right. I started fucking a new dude after, before all that happened. And, like, he wasn't even going in there right. I had to tell him to plug it into the GPS because of all the character in there. And the GPS would have told him in 1/4 of an inch, make a U-turn, because that is what my vagina is doing at this time. All right. I fucked that up because the light was shone a long time ago. And I really wanted to get into how I kicked that pussy back in, but you guys can catch me next time, the day before Thanksgiving, at a very popular comedy club that I'm not sure if I can mention on this stage, but it starts with a P, has an L in it, and it's on How and Arden. I'll see you guys on the 22nd. My name's Asia May. That's my time.
Keep it going for Asia May. Keep it going. I definitely think I saw her ex-husband and his sister on Pornhub. It's a very popular genre. You guys ready for your headliner, not headliner? Yeah! I like this man. He's coming all the way from Manteca to close out the show tonight. Give it up for Steve Abby, everybody.
Manuel Martin. Come on, guys. Give it up for him. Humping his ass off all night. I'm going to go home and yell at my mom. You couldn't fuck one cousin so I can have a joke. Your pussy couldn't fall out in front of me so I could talk about something. But she says, oh, but Stab, looks like the room we used to lock you in when we were fucking. Can't I come out, Mama? Can't I? She goes, why don't you talk about politics? I go, it's about family, Mom. I can't talk about politics. Why don't you talk about the Gaza Strip? I used to hook there. I go, that's not what you think it is, Mom. It's not what you think it is. That's how you shave your vagina. The Gaza Strip is how you shave your vagina, Mom. I didn't say that to my mom. Why would you guys make me do that? I work in retail. I think that's obvious. My dad's dead. He took the easy way out. He did. He died. Heart stopped working. That's the thing. We're quitters in my family. Our hearts, our arteries, everything quits. I'm thinking about running a 5K because that's the family motto. You can always give up. Don't look at their faces. They look scared. They look scared. Hey, he doesn't look like the guy from the poster. It's because I killed the real Steve Eddie. He's in the bathroom, strangled on the floor. You guys aren't even going to look, are you? The real Steve Eddie's in there, and he's dead. His family's going to find out later, his poor mama, who didn't fuck one cousin. Although if you had seen her cousins, you wouldn't fuck them either. Not attractive people. Manuel's cousins, beautiful people. Our cousins, trolls. Just frightening little creatures. Coming to get ya. Look, if I follow your car tonight, just let me finish on your leg. It's not a prerequisite. I like blowjobs. What does that have to do with your family? Well, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. I never had an uncle molest me, no matter how much I flirted. No matter how much I tried. Molest me, Uncle Harry. Your name's Uncle Harry, for God's sakes. Harry, no less. Harry, I'm going to get a laugh off Harry. If you guys don't give me a standing ovation off Harry, I'm not leaving, and we have other shows to do. So, if you can tell by my shirt, I'm hella cool. And I've had sex over 3 times this year and not one conviction. My dad took me to wrestling when I was a kid. He did. He would take me to watch grown men in their underwear, oiled up, fake fighting each other, and then he'd take me to wrestling. And that was a thing of beauty, because the other place was just his friends. Just his pals. They wrestle in their undies. Greek style. I heard somebody moan Greek style behind me. I heard that. This isn't television. I'm real. I'm not a figment of your imagination. I'm not growing in your beard, although maybe, just maybe, that man is my father and he's here tonight to reveal himself. He didn't die, like in the joke earlier. That's the last thing my dad ever said to me. He said, "You just blew my heart valve." And then he died. You know, they're giving... Please silence all your mechanical devices. You know about my pacemaker, and it could go off at any moment. I said, "Dad, you want to stick around and watch more of the wrestlings?" He said, "I'm going to get a beer. Just listen to whatever Macho Man says. Do what he says." And Macho was my babysitter for the next 4 hours at Arco Arena. "Don't tell him I touched you." Yeah. "I'm all fired up, right, Manuel Martin? Are you fired up?" "I'm going to do Macho Man to Manuel Martin. That's right. Your mother had sex with a retarded boy. The retarded boy had a very large penis. Am I right, sir?" This is macho crowd work. Yeah, you always got to talk about the penis. Yeah, what are you smiling about back there in the back row? Yeah, you made a lot of noise tonight. Yeah. Yeah, you're excited to be here. I'll smile. I'll find you. Come on now. Fired up. Yeah, the silence is deafening. Yeah. Thought the Macho Man would go over better. Yeah. Yeah, thought there'd be a lot more laughter when I did the Macho Man. Yeah, thought everybody would probably stand up at that point. Yeah. Thought they'd probably realize he ain't gonna stop it until we at least clap or, I don't know, applaud, maybe wave at him, let him know he's okay. Let him know that we're real people and we're here, and just, maybe one guy starts a slow clap, real slow, real dramatic, right? Yeah. And the other guy kind of looks away from me, shy, embarrassed, doesn't want to make eye contact, doesn't want to end up in my suicide note, is a little worried I might not make it tonight, wondering why I'm covering my eyes. Is he going to cry? We don't know. Yeah, still not clapping, huh? Thinks he's gonna quit. Thinks he's gonna give up on this bit. Yeah, thinks he's gonna go to a different Yeah, guys clapping more, but nobody wants to join him. Nobody's Yeah, now they're all joining him. And now they're all joining him. And they thought that would be the end. But no, that just made my ego go through the fucking roof. Yeah. I might go out and bang a retarded kid. I don't know. I might have been inspired by me. Oh, the owner's coming in to say you're done. Get off the stage. Yeah. Don't like you. Yeah. Don't like Macho Man. Yeah. Don't like, taking Manuel Martin out. Yeah. Chastising him. Yeah. Seeing who let that fucking maniac on my stage. He won't stop doing Macho Man. Some sort of autistic thing's happening. Can't get out of it. Yeah. Gonna go home. How'd the show go? I can't stop doing Macho Man. I swear someone put a goddamn curse on me. Yeah. Saw Alvin Duke in the back sort of wave his finger kind of weird. Yeah. Threw a little pixie dust on me. Yeah. Couldn't get out of character. Maybe I shouldn't have did a little blow in the back. Yeah.
So I got a brother too. I do. I got a brother, and he talks like this. Huh? What? Huh? What? Not angry at all. Works in a warehouse. Just a lot of, huh? Who? Mom? Is she alive? Yes. She's alive. I said, Mom, I'm going to Stab tonight. And I said, you like what I have to wear? And she said, of course, I laid it out for you. Thanks.
Wasn't that great? Keep it going for Steve Eddie. All right, there is another show that's happening after this show, and the host of that show, Suzette, is going to come up and say a couple words.
There is another show coming up after this show. I'm Suzette, and I'm saying a couple words. It's actually a charity comedy show. It's for these proceeds go to the Sacramento Food Bank, a portion of the proceeds. So if you guys want to stick around and donate whatever you can, we'd love to have an audience. We'd love to make some sort of contribution to the SAC Food Bank during the holidays. So thank you.
All right, well, I want to thank everybody for coming to the Subject Line show. This is Jordan Quattlebaum's show. He does this every single month. I would like for the comedians to come on stage so we can take a picture. And hopefully you guys stick around for the next one, the next show, all right? Thank you.
All right, everybody, that is it for the Subject Line. But as Suzette said, Comedy for a Cause will be starting in about 10 minutes. It's Suzette Vanetti, Chaz Hawkins. Gonna be a good show, and the proceeds go to the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services. So if you want to stick around for more fun, please do. You can see me at the bar. Pay what you want, pay what you can, and keep your night going. Here it's Dad.
In the church and was buried along with the maid. Nobody came, Father McKinney, wiping his hands from the dirt as he walks from the grave. No one was saved, oh, the lonely people. Where do they all come from? Oh, the lonely people. Do they all belong? Look at all touch us one time and last for a lifetime and never let go until we're gone. Every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door. You are here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime and never let go till we're gone. Love was when I loved you one true time. I hold you in my life will always go on and on and on and on. Near, far, wherever you are, you believe that the heart must go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and is everything I fear, and I know that the heart will go on. We'll stay forever this way. You are safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and
Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Comedy for a Cause. Please welcome to the stage your host, Suzette Vanetti.
Thank you. Okay, cool. Did anyone stay from last show? No, everyone. Okay, I made a plea to the last show. I was like, you should stay. It's a show for charity. You should do that. And they ask women to do impossible things. I just try to come up here and not tell jokes, but also be charming and funny, right? And then nobody stayed. All that work for nothing. How are you guys doing? Okay, cool. Thank you. I've got a plant in the audience. My name is Suzette. Maybe you guys don't. You're like, what is this? I'm a drag princess. Normally, I do drag shows, but sometimes I do comedy shows because some people think I'm funny for one reason or another. But normally my job with drag, it's an art form where you want to create an illusion, like a fantasy, right? Like that's what I think drag is, right? Kind of like fantasy creation art form. And like tonight I'm creating the art form for you that like I'm like fit and healthy, but this knee hurts. Yeah. Which is I look like the type of girl that both knees should hurt is the that's the thing. It's like a twist. It's because I'm 40. And it looks like I suck a lot of dick. So I just learned that I don't have a gag reflex. And you're like, oh, you should have learned that 25 years ago, hun. No, it's all these, when you turn 40, your body changes and you don't expect it to. And you think it's just one time during puberty, but it's not. It's like when you get older, your body changes again. And then you have to take all these pills. So I have every morning, I'm just 40 and I wake up, I have to swallow a fish oil, a multivitamin, a women's vitamin, a daily vitamin, a CoQ10 for skin, a probiotic, some apple cider vinegar, an antihistamine. I like to mix in on top of all those supplements, vitamins. I like to mix in an Excedrin, because I know what kind of day it's going to be, and then some Tums. And I like the Pepto-Bismol tablets because they don't turn my tongue brown. I don't know if you have that problem. And then I like to put Tic Tacs and some Gas X in my purse, and then I'm like covered for the whole day. And so I learned from swallowing all that I don't have a gag reflex. And I was telling that joke at a show, and a guy in the audience was like, "Yeah, no gag reflex." And I was like, "Why are you so excited?" Or no, I'm sorry, I fucked it up. He said, "Yeah, gag reflex." I wish he had said, "Yeah, no gag reflex," because that's me. But he said, "Yeah, gag reflex." And I was like, "Why are you so excited if you give someone a gag reflex?" And I was like, "Oh, I get it, because it makes him feel big. It makes guys feel big if they make the person choke." Which is, here's the thing. It's like an inch deep, all of our mouths. It doesn't go that far, right? Like a toothbrush can give you a gag reflex. So it's just like, congratulations, bro, you're a toothbrush. Like trim your bristles is what I need you to do. I was cleaning my couch out the other day, and there's exactly what you'd expect. There was some sequins and some glitter, but then there was also a tooth. I have all mine. It is not my tooth. Dating is weird, is what I'm saying. And I'm not reverse Cinderella. I'm not going to like try to find whose mouth that fits in. Like go door to door with this molar and be like, open up. Like, let me see if it fits. You're the prince for me. Nope. Mm-mm. I threw it away like a normal person. Yeah. If there were two, I would have made earrings, but there was just one. So I threw it away like a normal human being. Yeah, dating is weird. The best date that I've had in 5 years. Sorry, bangs. I'm 40, so bangs are a friend. The best date that I've had in a while. There was an explosion outside my window. I was getting ready for brunch. I was a drag brunch, and it made my heart jump. And I was like, "Oh, what's that noise?" And then I got a text right away, and it was from Mr. Smud, and he was like, "Hey, girl, I'm up in your box. There was an explosion. I'll just be working in here." And I was like, "That is so nice of him to text me." And then I got a text, and it was also from Mr. Smud, and he was like, "Hey, girl, you and 10,974 other people were affected, and there was an explosion in a box." And I was like, "Well, I thought this was just us, but it's 2023, so like Polly's in, I guess. So if I have to share you with 10,733 other people, then okay, cool. Like, it's been 5 years, so beggars can't be choosy." And then I just kept doing what I was doing, getting ready for brunch, and then I got another text, and it was Mr. Smud, and he was like, "Hey, girl, I'm all done. Have a good day." And I was like, that is so courteous to like let me know he's done, because sometimes they don't, and you're just waiting. So I really appreciate it. That's the best date I've had in 5 years. It was bad. Oh man, I'm trying to think of more dating stories to tell you guys. I don't want to tell you a dating story. I want to tell you I went to a Mexican baby shower. Have you guys ever been to a Mexican baby shower? No? Yes? Okay, back me up here, please. Mexican baby shower. I'm there, right? And I'm the only white girl. And they came up to me, and everyone's looking at me. And I was like, I have to hug the mom to be. So, like, the tribe accepts me, right? And I was like, where is she? And so I gave her a hug, and I was like, here, quick, hug me so your tribe accepts me. And she did. And then after they accepted me, they ran up with a ribbon with the pacifier, right? You've seen it? Yeah. And they put the ribbon with the pacifier around my neck. And they were like, okay. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I don't want to be culturally insensitive. So I'm just going to wear this. I don't know if I suck on it or not. I'll just watch other people. No one was doing anything. I was like, this is weird. Okay. Just wearing a pacifier necklace. And another girl walked in, and they put the ribbon with the pacifier around her neck. And then they explained the rules to her. And they were like, okay, so this is how it works. If you cross your legs or your knees or your ankles or any part of your lower extremities, then an old Mexican woman's going to come up and rip it off your neck, and she's going to put it around hers, and the person with the most pacifiers wins, right? Yeah. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me the rules of the game? And they were like, Suzette, we didn't think that you knew how to cross your legs. We were actually worried you were going to win. That's why we were looking at you. It's not because you were a white girl at a Mexican baby shower. We just didn't want you to play this game. So that was awkward for me. This other thing happened. Speaking of awkward and dating, we'll just combine those two. I was in a moist, damp room with a mostly naked guy. This is a true story. I don't know. Have you guys seen in the news, everyone wants comedians to be like 100% true? Have you seen that? No, you have. You said a little bit. You've seen it a little bit? Yeah. They get mad if comedians embellish. So this is 100% true. The room was very damp, and there was a mostly naked man, and he was saying something about eating ass. And I said, I'm a vegan. And he said, that doesn't count. And I said, sure it does. It's like bees. Bees also make a gooey substance, and you can't eat it because it's animal product, and I'm a vegan. And he was like, I don't know. So I turned to the other half-naked man who's a vegan in the room. There were two of them. He's a vegan. And I was like, isn't that true? And he said, actually, she's right. And so I just want to, like, am I an asshole for not eating asshole? Thank you. Thank you for laughing at that. I appreciate that. Oh man. Okay, how long have I been up here? Like 7 minutes, I think. What do you guys want to hear a joke about? Cool. All right. Excellent. Audience participation. Love that. No, I just did a drag show. This isn't a joke. It's interesting. I just did a drag show, and you guys are being all respectful and polite, and I appreciate it so much. There were two tables, but one of them was worse, and they were just not paying attention. And I'm like, why would you make reservations and pay money for subpar food to ignore a show in front of you? And I don't know. There was something funny I said in the car on the way over, and now I forgot what it was. Oh, it was like they had the sense of entitlement of bicyclists in Davis. And I'm like, I'm a PT Cruiser. I'm a stupid looking little car, but I can still run you over. Like, get out of the way. Respect the show that happened. Anyway, okay, that wasn't that funny. Sorry. It's funnier in my head. Do you guys have a favorite drag performer? No? Katana Ray? My favorite is Jesus. Are you guys Catholic? Okay, good. Then streaming people can earmuff if they're Catholic. So Jesus, right? He had really pretty hair, right? He was always in a dress. He was always drinking wine instead of water, which is like a very draggy thing to do. Like, just because you can, though, Jesus, doesn't mean you should, like, slow down, lush, you know? And then he was always hanging out with whores. When I say that, who do you think of? Who's the whore? Of Jesus. Was it Judas? Judas was a whore? I didn't know that. You were there? You look so good for 2023 years old. I guess you'd be older than that. You look so good for 2015. 53 years old. What, sunscreen? Is that it? White people age like milk. Sunscreen or not. Okay, no. People think of Mary Magdalene usually, but she was a girlfriend. Is the problem? We're slut shaming the girlfriend, which is rude, right? Like the mother was the whore. I'm just like, have you ever given birth? Okay, if you got pregnant, are you guys together? Okay, all right. Well, excellent choice on your first date. Thank you for coming. So, all right, if you guys stayed together, right, and you were exclusive, and then you got pregnant, and then you came home, and you were like, that's not my baby. I know it's not my baby. Would you just be like, oh, it's God's? Maybe, but would you believe it? No, you wouldn't. Joseph was an idiot, is what I'm saying, and Mary was a whore, and they had a baby, and she blamed it on God, and they got away with it. What's that? 4 things? We've gone off the rails a little bit. At when it was time for Jesus' last meal, they were like, "Hey, what do you want to do for your last meal?" And Jesus is like, "I want to spend it with 12 other guys in dresses." The Last Supper was a kiki. A kiki is when drag queens hang out. Yeah, it's funny if you know it, but they knew it. You guys didn't. You know Kiki's Chicken? Is that something we all know? Okay, here's something we need to know. Their children's menu is called Kai Kai's. Right? See, they know. Kai Kai is when 2 drag queens fuck. It is not appropriate for a children's menu. It's so inappropriate for a children's menu. I don't want the sauce that comes with that meal. The Kai Kai meal. I don't. I'm good. Thank you. Sauceless, please. Am I the asshole for not getting the Kai Kai children's meal? No. I don't want it. Yeah, I get to do a lot of cool things with one stiletto foot. They say wifey, by the way. They're not for you because it's your first date. I'm divorced, so I get the wifey shoes. My ex bought them and doesn't even know. I get to do a lot of cool things. Sometimes it's not as cool. Like, do you guys remember a couple years ago there was Proud Boys attacked a show in Woodland? You remember? You guys remember? I was there. It was me that was there. But before that, they attacked a show that I did at the Children's Museum in Rancho Cordova. I don't know why, but they're very nice people, and I love them very much. It's just a weird place for it. But I was at the Children's Museum doing a Children's Pride, and these like 7 Proud Boys showed up. And the interesting thing for me was they're supposed to be white, but like 5 of them were, and then one of them was like eggshell, and one was like taupe. And I was like, I think you're with the wrong clique. I don't want to tell you, like, that could be awkward, so I just left it alone. But then they showed up and they had a sign and it said, protect white children. But they misspelled white. It just said protect WHTE children. There was no I at all. And I wanted to ask them, like, why'd you leave it out? But in my mind, in my head canon, they gave me a really sports bro answer. I was like, why'd you leave the I out of white? And they were going to be like, because there's no I in white. It's us. Like, it's a team. We're together. But I didn't think they were going to say something as funny as I needed them to. So I didn't ask them. I roasted them. One guy was wearing a Jason Williams jersey. So I was just like, Mike Bibby was statistically superior. Okay, no, not basketball fans. It's a funny joke for a racist guy wearing a Jason Williams jersey. Anyway, then they showed up at this other show that I did in Woodland, right? And they recognized me, and they were like, you. And I was like, you coming to all my shows, supporting biggest. Are we dating? Like, are you a fan or are we dating? What's up? I didn't get you a present, an anniversary present. Happy 1 week, baby. It was awkward. There ended up being pepper spray. You remember? No, you remember. There was pepper spray and like it got all over me, and then people were like, Suzette, don't touch your face. And I was like, this is drag makeup. I wasn't gonna touch my face for 8 hours anyway. That'd be a terrible mistake. This is just rouge now, the pepper spray. Yeah, so anyway, straight. You guys don't need a parade to prove you're straight, right? Okay, you took a second, and I was like, huh? Not straight. Well, you're not a guy. Well, I don't know. Are you a guy? Okay, all right. That's cool. You don't have to be straight. Do I look straight? That's a good answer. No, but there was a straight guy parade in Modesto, and you guys don't need that, right? But they did, these guys in Modesto, and I just never want to let the world forget when Modesto does something awful. So we must talk about it. And these guys had this straight pride parade in Modesto, and they were like, "Oh, we're straight, and we're gonna march and be straight." And like where I'm from in Pittsburgh, like the guys don't need a straight pride parade to prove, but they do something kind of similar, but they don't do a parade. But like they call it a circle jerk. You just have to watch out. You don't want it in your hair. I don't know if you've been. No, okay. I'll do one more for you guys. I'm gonna admit something. I was posting the poster for the show. Perhaps that's how you found it. I don't know how you found the show, but I was posting a poster, and I was driving. This is really tight. Oh my god, I haven't had to work this hand that hard since yesterday. Okay. So I'm posting the poster for the show, and this like motorcyclist pulls up next to me, and he knocked on my window. And I was like, stranger danger, go away. You know, like, what are you doing? I don't want to talk to you. And he was like, knocks. And I'm like, okay, fine. And so, like, I rolled down my window. And how old are you guys? Okay. So this is the only way you know how to roll a window down. But back when I was growing up, we did this. Yeah. And I just need to say this is not a shitty Tina Turner impression. This is how we rolled windows down. So I would have done that. Anyway, I rolled the window down. And the guy, the motorcyclist, you don't ride a motorcycle, do you? Okay. All right, I don't want to trigger anybody. The motorcyclist was like, my life is worth more than your phone call, because, like, I'm on Instagram. And I was like, well, this is Instagram. I don't know what the conversion factor is with your life. How many followers does your life have? You know? And he got mad. And before I continue, I'm going to tell you, like, he did not care about safety. He didn't have a helmet. He didn't have a spiny vest. He didn't have like rollerblading wrist gloves or knee pads. Like, he didn't have anything. He just had a backward baseball hat and a t-shirt, not even sunglasses to keep the bugs out of his eyes. Also, he had pants. He wasn't like Donald Duck on a bike. But so he was like, you know, he got mad. Like, and he sped away to like show me that I was a stupid bitch, I guess. And like when he was speeding, he like popped a wheelie to like really show me I was a stupid bitch. But he didn't see the cement mixing truck going across the intersection, and he hit it going so fast, and he exploded and I think died. And I was just like, oh my god, being on Instagram behind the wheel really does hurt people. I should be more careful. Okay, you're terrified. It's fine. Well, you laughed at one point, so we're good. No, thank you guys so much for coming. I'm going to bring up the next comedian. Really appreciate you guys being here. Please put your hands together. Make some noise. Give it up for Chaz Hawkins.
Thank you. Keep it going for Suzette. Everybody's doing good. You guys this is a good cause. So that's a whose choice was it for the date to come here? Yeah. It's because I wondered if it's like you know, you guys like, because this is the first date, you know, and we've all everybody's been there, you know, everybody's been there, but it's just like this, like proving who's a better person the first time around, you know. Anyway, I've been trying to be better. I've been trying to be a better person, better version of myself. Something I do, I don't smoke weed, and this is usually when I lose the whole crowd, in case you're wondering. And it's like it's not even my fault. Like what it really is I'm that weird age where like the campaign slogans were pushed on us as little kids. And I just believed what they were telling me, you know? So like, you know, like the one that got me, it wasn't the DARE program, it was weed is a gateway drug. I just feel like weed is a gateway drug. I don't think it's a gateway to doing other drugs. I think it's a gateway to selling Herbalife, but I feel like that shit is way worse. It's way more dangerous for more communities, you know? Because, you know, the guy that used to try to sell me weed, now he texts me every now and then, and he's like, what are your fitness goals for 2023? And it's like, dude, fuck you, you know? Like, you're the one that got us all fat. But, you know, being a comedian, like, we come into it quite often. I remember one night I was doing a show, and the guy paid us in weed. And he didn't tell us he was going to pay us in weed, but he did have, like, weird energy every conversation that we had. You know, like, we would talk about, like, how much he's going to pay us and if he needs, our Venmo. And he would say words like, perhaps. And it's like, that's not a word that humans actually use, you know? Like we write it down and it's in stories, but nobody, like, there's never a time where you're like, perhaps. And, like, he would do that a lot. Perhaps. He would do one other thing that was, like, very strange. He would roll his R's, but he wouldn't be saying Spanish words. So, like, when we first showed up at the venue, he was like, greetings. And it's like, oh, damn, he doesn't have all the money. Like, any white dude that sounds like he just left a Renaissance fair doesn't have all the money. He spent it on, like, weird guitars or some shit like that. But he did pay us in weed, and he gave us each one whole weed. It was like a long staff, and he handed it to us, you know. And I took it, like I was just trying to be cool in the moment, and I never smoked weed, so I thought it'd be something easy to do. But then I had to go home and Google, like, how do you break down one weed into smaller weed? Because I was thinking you just need, like, zigzags and a lighter, but turns out no. Google says that you need a grinder. So then I Googled, what is a grinder? And I was like, I gotta try to have sex with dudes just to get the weed broken down. This is what everybody's doing to get their weed broken down. I just didn't even know about it. This is the gateway they were talking about this whole time. That it got me. Like, my wife's not gonna be cool about that, you know. And then I was thinking, like, what if I did all that and then I got the weed and it was bullshit? It's like, but I fucked that guy. I should have tested it out first. Yeah. I should have said something in the moment, you know, because that guy was weird the whole time. I should have said something, but I don't like confrontation. I don't like to get into it with people. I don't like. I just try to do whatever I can do to not get into a conflict. And, like, what it stems from, I think, is that I can't fight. It's like, well, you know, I don't want to say I can't fight. I'll just say, like, I'm untested, you know. Like, there's been situations where I probably should have fought, and I did everything where, like, the fight should have happened, but it just never happened. Like, there was this altercation that I had with this guy. He was normally my friend, but, like what happened is, like, it was my birthday, and my parents had gave me, like, $20 and some other stuff, and so I put the money in my socks because I had on basketball shorts. I'm giving too much information right now, but I had on basketball shorts and they didn't have pockets, so I put the money in my sock. And so we're playing basketball, and so the money comes out my sock, and I don't notice. And so the guy picks it up, and he just, like, takes my money. And so I hear about it because I realize I lost my money, and so then other kids are telling me, like, yo, he has it, you know. And so then I went and asked him about it, and he just acted like he didn't have it. And so, you know, I was just, like, so upset. And so I was about to punch him, and then I just open hand slapped him instead. And then, like, we should have fought, you know, but he just gave me the money. And then some. Like, he gave me extra money. It was like, this is like the origin story for a pimp. It's like, with great power comes no responsibility whatsoever. Get your money, man. Yeah, so anyway, so I don't like to fight. And I remember I was on a date with this girl once, and I explained to her my situation, that I can't fight. You know, I just say I can't fight, you know. And so she was like, "Oh, well, then it's not gonna work for us, you know, because I cannot date a guy that cannot protect me from my enemies." She's like, "That's a big red flag." And then I was like, "I don't know if you know this, but that is a bigger, redder flag." I was like, "Bitch, you have known enemies." Like known enemies, like people just out there like plotting your demise. You have villains working around the clock to try to stop you. It's like maybe you should do something different with your life. And I didn't actually say that to her because she looked like she could fight. So I just wrote it down on a piece of paper. And I passed it to her side when she got up to use the bathroom. Because I don't like conflict. When I was younger, I realized I actually never have to learn how to fight. Because there's something you could do is instead of fighting, you could talk out your problems and things like that. But the real thing that you can do that nobody thinks about is you could always just like push somebody into a bush. Which I know it sounds really stupid, but the funny thing is that nobody actually knows how to get out of a bush. Like that shit has never happened in any of our lives, you know? Like other kids would be like taking karate and taekwondo, just wasting their parents' money. And I would just be sitting in the back of horticulture class paying a lot of attention, you know? It's like, oh shit, you can push them into that bush, but not that one, you know? So if there's like something goes on and the person's, normally my friend, but they're being a jerk, I would push him right into an aloe vera plant, you know? So, there's sharp as shit, he'd get all scratched up. But then he'd heal himself right back up because that's how aloe vera works. He'd lose that cold he had for a couple of weeks. He's still your friend. Let's see. I am married. I didn't have to think about that. I know I'm married, but I'm just wondering the route that I'm going with this whole thing. I'm married. Like marriage to me, I feel like it's pretty easy. It's like most of being married to me is just my wife trying to trick me into watching This Is Us. Like that happens like almost every night, you know. And then like she'll try to find things that I like to try to bring it into me watching This Is Us. She'd be like, "Chaz, you like football, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, how about we just start watching Friday Night Lights, you know?" And then I was watching, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And then it's like, "Wait, This Is Us with CTE and dry humping." And so, yeah, being married is cool. I have a black wife. Hold your applause. I do it for the gram, to be honest. And that's what I call old black ladies that have grandchildren. I call them the gram. Their likes mean a lot more to me. Sometimes they come with pies. So retweet is a peach cobbler. So yeah, I have a black wife. Like we complement each other very well. Like I feel like for her, it's a good marriage. It's funny. It's like I'm telling you how she feels about our marriage. She wouldn't agree to that, but it's a good marriage for her because I don't ask her any stupid ass black hair questions. And for me, it's the perfect relationship because I don't have to act like the show Friends was any good. I just get to totally be myself. Don't get me wrong, I do still watch Friends, but I watch it like late at night to help me fall asleep. I've been calling that shit white noise. I remember once I was on a date with this girl, and she was like, "Chaz, which character would you be? Are you more Joey or more Chandler?" And I just got the fuck up and walked out of there. It's like if I'm anybody, I'm probably the black dude from Friends, and he wasn't there, so I'm not gonna be there either. And you got another enemy. It was a different girl, but me and my wife, we have 2 kids. Thank you. We have two girls, and I remember like so my wife, she had both of our kids naturally, like no anesthetics or anything like that. Yeah, she's a soldier that way. And like, cause we had a birth plan, and that was her birth plan from the beginning. But like, I didn't believe she could do that. But you can't say that. You just have to act like they're like, yeah, I can dunk from the free throw line, and it's like, yeah, of course you can. So I just had to just like leave these little things, like, it's like, okay, yeah, no drugs or anything like that, but it's like, but if you want to, there's no pressure. But like the reason why I didn't believe that she could is because like before we got pregnant, like she hit her foot on the couch one day, and she like talked about that shit for like 7 months. Like, like she won't even walk around the couch the same way from how she was walking that day when she hit it. So, but yeah, she did it, and I have 2 kids, and like I remember when my oldest daughter was too little to talk. What they say with kids is that you wanna teach them how to communicate. So you want to teach them sign, because then they can communicate with people even before they learn how to talk. And then they're like way less frustrated, in life, and it kind of creates like a whole different person, because earlier on, they have these things they want to say, but they can't say them. So I did learn all that I could, and I took it upon myself to teach my daughter sign, mostly gang though. Yeah, that was a long setup for that. It's usually not that long, but I was just seeing what I could do. Yeah, mostly gang. Because, you got to represent. Like, there's no age where you can't represent, you know what I mean? Like, you could be out there, it could be some bitch-ass babies talking shit. I don't know. This is for a good cause, though, so it doesn't matter what I say. Yeah. And then my other daughter, what I decided to do with her, I told my wife, I was like, what you do with this baby? And she was like, stop calling your daughter this baby. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right about that. It's probably not the best thing. What we should do with that baby, I was like, I should give her an accent. That's what I just thought, because you could actually do that if you just talk. If you just talk to the kid with an accent, that's how they are gonna talk. They don't have any control. They're learning from you. So I did. I gave my daughter an accent. It started out as like a good British accent, but along the way I just realized I'm not that good at a British accent. So now she just like kind of sounds like Conor McGregor. It's still good. I come home after a hard day at work, and it's like, "Aye, daddy boy, get the fuck over here. I need you to clean me up. It appears I took a little shite in me knickers." It's cool she could say that word. It's cool for her to say that word. Pandemic and everything, like me and my wife, we were married before that. Pandemic is weird because now like we're in this place, and like there's a lot of things I don't know what to do. Like as far as like with the mask, I go back and forth with wearing it and with not. And the other day I was at the grocery store and I had the mask on, and when I'm walking in there, this guy comes up to me as he's leaving, and he's like, "I don't even know why you have that on your face." He's like, "COVID's not real. You don't need to wear that." I don't know this motherfucker at all. You know what I mean? Like he's just one of those people. He's like, "It's not gonna help you," and it's like, well, I thought it would help me not have to talk to you. Like that's the only reason I wore it. It's just so I didn't have to talk to you, And so, but I got peer pressured, so I took it off. I don't like conflict. I took it off, and then he's like, so now, he's like, now I'd like to shake your hand. And so I shook his hand. I was like, well, I have COVID, so I know it wasn't gonna help me, but I thought like wearing the mask protects you from getting COVID. So I don't have COVID now, but in the joke, I had COVID at the time. So another very long setup. So let's see. Let me start. Hi everybody. My name's Chaz. I almost got canceled like a year ago. Like what happened is I sent an unsolicited dick pic which is not cool. So it's called a crime by most. And like, so what it was, like, let me just try to explain it. There used to be this app called Forget Me Not, and so it was kind of like a notes app earlier, like when apps just first started being created. So what you could do is you would send, it's almost like you'd send a text to yourself, and then you pick a future time for it to go out to the person or to like do whatever. So I thought it would be hilarious to send a dick pic that way. So I sent a picture of my dick 13 years into the future. Yeah, and like like that Forget Me Not app, it doesn't exist anymore. The company went bankrupt. It went under. And then one day I'm just sitting down eating breakfast, and I get a text, and it's a picture of my own dick. I sent it to myself, but I just totally forgot about it. It fucked my breakfast all the way up. The Cheerios just started getting good too. And like the thing that made it the worst is that it was a better dick. Like that. Like, I don't have that dick anymore. That was like when my dick was in its prime. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. I have all right. Fuck this shit. Not fuck this shit. Figuratively fuck this shit. For real, care about everything, but fuck this shit. So something I feel like that like we need to be more honest with people. Like we need to sometimes people need to be called out. And like we need to like be honest with ourselves also. Some people that are not honest with themselves are dudes with mullets. I feel like they're not honest, and we're not honest with them. Like, we don't tell them what we think about what sits atop their head. But like people with mullets, they always go, business up front, party in the back. That's a statement that they make. And my big problem with that is, like, who the fuck is doing business with you? Like, has there anybody that's ever done business? Like, I really don't think people are partying with you, but let's not even get to that first. Who the fuck do you think is doing business with you, Have you ever been in a business meeting? You're like, man, it really set this meeting off. If Meth Head Matt was here, he could really just turn it around with his adventures at the creek. That would really make our day. And then Matt comes in like 3 hours later. He's like, hey, everybody, sorry I'm late. I had to take my car apart and put it back together. And then take it apart again. You know how it is at the creek. It's like, no, we don't, Matt. We do not. I'm getting older, but I am a black dude, so nobody can tell. It is my own little secret. I didn't even have to tell you that now. It's good and it's bad. Like I think I'm gonna look like 27 for like the next 37 years or some shit. This guy's like 72. We just look good for a long time, but the bad thing is like you do fit a description for a very long time, and that's not. Yeah, it's sad, but it's reality. So like if a crime happens, it's like it was either that old ass black dude or that newborn baby. But that baby is throwing up gang signs. So yeah, I don't know if I could trust that one. But yeah, I did realize I'm getting older because some of the artists that I like rappers and things like that, like not all of them are famous anymore, Like motherfuckers be at the state fair and shit. It's like, yo, I could see them all for $5. I could see Chameleonaire for $5. He didn't change his name or anything. He's still going by that. Chinky's there, but he's just hanging out. Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's okay to get older, but you like when you're really old, that like the way that you can tell somebody is old is when technology passes them by. Like I had this person that I work with, and I didn't realize they were older until we had a conversation. Because like, you know, we were talking, I was like, oh yeah, cool, man, I'll email you about it. What's your email? And he was like, capital F, and I was like, holy shit. What? Capital F? He's like, yeah, capital F pound symbol. It's just like, fuck this conversation. Some people don't get that. You don't need a capital F in your email. That's you guys are all young. You're all young. It's not that many people in here. We're all pretty young. Except you're 72, but you look 25. Let's see. I remember the first time that I was supposed to have sex. Yeah, I said supposed to. I was 15 years old. I had been dating this girl in high school, and things have been progressing. They've been going pretty well. And when you're young like that, like nothing is left up to chance, you know. So like what happened is we had a half day in school, and her parents were out of town. So she just told me, she's like, yo, when we have this half day in school, you're gonna come over to my house and we're gonna have intercourse. And I was like, yeah, because we just learned that word, you know. And so then it's like, yeah, you know, I could go and brag to all my friends. I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing on the half day? Oh, playing basketball. Yeah, I remember I used to do that too. It's like, I'm actually gonna be having sex with a girl, man, and I'm gonna make her take her shirt off and everything, you know. And he was like, my friend's like, Chaz, you know what's gonna happen, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go over to this girl's house. We're gonna have sex. She's gonna be easily pleased. I'm gonna fall asleep, and when I wake up, a sandwich is gonna be there. That's what I said. And my friend goes, no, that's not what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen, Chaz, is you're gonna get this girl pregnant. He's like, yeah, he's not my friend anymore. In case you're wondering. Like what made it worse, he didn't just stop there. He kept going. He goes, when you graduate from high school, your baby's gonna be 3 years old. And it's like, dude, that is so fucked up, you know? Because I was, like, he wasn't even counting the 9 months for the pregnancy. Like, I was already 15. So it's like, what are you saying? Like, you either saying you think my girlfriend is already pregnant, or you don't think I'm gonna graduate on time. Like, that's more fucked up. Like, why are we talking about that? Social studies is hard. But I was like, forget it. You know, I went anyway. That's what you do. You go anyway. So I went to the girl's house, and then we started getting into it. It starts being about to happen, and then I start hearing my friend's stupid ass voice, like, "You're gonna get her pregnant. Your baby's." I don't know why he was dead. Your baby's gonna be 3. When you walk across the stage, you're gonna say, "That's my daddy," because he's old enough to talk at that age. So I don't do it, but I got to get out of the situation the quickest way that I think I could. So I tell this girl, the first thing that comes to my mind, because I'm thinking the worst thing is to have a kid while you're in high school. I tell her that I can't get my penis hard. That's the choice I made. Immediately I realize the worst thing is not to have a kid while you're still in high school. The worst thing is to have a girlfriend with a big fucking mouth. That's always the worst thing. That was the worst thing tomorrow and 2 days ago. I tell this bitch in confidence and I can't get my penis hard. And she goes back to school and she tells everybody that I couldn't get my penis hard. And she was also stupid because because any guy at 15 years old, his dick is never not hard. Like that whole year it is just useless. But so yeah, she tells everybody, you know, and you know, if you're me, you still have 3 more years to be called Limp Dick Hawkins. Like that's your life now. You created that, you know. I had school counselors come up to me like, dude, you should have just had the fucking baby. He's like, I know you're thinking the worst thing was to have a kid, but this is gonna sit with you way longer. Take it from me, Small Balls Johnson. He just shoot. He doesn't work there anymore. Let me get ready to close this out. Like I said, me and my wife, we've been married for a minute. I mean, not super long. It'll be 6 years in December. Thanks again. I was just checking to see if you guys gave a shit yet about me. I was just fucking around. Okay, but yeah. So we were married, you know, during the pandemic. I feel like anybody that's been married at that time, like we should get to add like 10 years to how long we say we were married. You know, because we were just always there. Like, this person's always there. It's not like you can go somewhere else. Like, you can't even leave the fucking house sometimes, you know? And so, so like, we've kind of hammered all of our issues out for the most part. So it's like, we don't even argue about like regular stuff anymore. Like, now we have like hypothetical fights. That's mostly our fights is hypothetical situations. So like, my wife, she won't admit it, but she feels like if she was a dude, she would have a bigger dick than me. Because she does a lot of things like, oh, you know, like, look at my fingers. I have long fingers and they're skinny. And it's like, look at my feet. I have big feet. She's always talking about that. And it's like, you have big feet for like a woman, but like as a dude, that's just like a size 6 tennis shoe. There's, you know, it's not these dudes with like a size 6 just out there packing dick. But then it's like, I also don't want to lose that argument. So then I'm trying to think of things that would make me have like a wetter vagina. And I'm like, I'm cool under pressure. So I think that would, I know how to break down one whole weed. I feel like that gives me the right passage. Let's see. Sorry. I am I'm recording an hour of comedy, probably like a couple months from now. So if anybody wants to come, that you have to buy a ticket. No, just fucking around. If you wanted to come, that'd be something I would enjoy. So I know I seem a little like all over the place. And this is being recorded also, huh, and like streamed live. And okay, so this is something that's in the world. Okay, so I probably should have thought about that before I went into the whole thing. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I try to think of another thing. Oh, I was talking about rappers, and like my favorite rapper hands down is Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. I feel like he's always doing stuff that's never been done before. He's always like super groundbreaking. And like the other day, I fell asleep not watching Friends. I fell asleep listening to some Jay-Z. And so I was listening to Jay-Z, and like he ended up in my dream. Like, it was one of those things where, like, since I fell asleep listening to it, he was just in my dream. And so, like, what it was is he had made an album, but he wasn't even gonna rap on the album. Like, he was just gonna talk about the shit he was doing that day. It was like super groundbreaking. Everybody else was rapping. He was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And so I I listened to the album, and as soon as I turned it on, it's like, hey, yo, I just want to thank you for purchasing my album. I really appreciate that. I do. And right now, if you didn't know what Jay-Z sounds like, this is exactly what Jay-Z sounds like. There's a guy over there. I see his legs. And so I'm listening to this, and I'm like, dude, can you just rap like one song for me, you know? I can't even rap one song for you. And I know you're wondering, like, how is Young Hov answering questions that you're posing while you're listening to the album? I'm doing that shit because I'm the greatest in the world. And so I'm like, dude, just get to it. And he just keeps talking. This is all in my dream. This is not happening in real life. So it's just like, right now we in the booth. We got a nice feel in the booth. It's about 70 degrees Celsius. Like, I don't think Jay-Z knows what Celsius means. That means it's like almost 200 degrees. Nigga, like, why are you rapping under these conditions? Are you okay? You know? So it's like, forget it. So I went and got a different genre of music. I went out and bought the brand new Kenny Chesney album. And as soon as I turned it on to listen to it, it was like, hey, this is still Jay-Z. I'm doing shit that's never been done before. I'm now putting albums out under Kenny Chesney's name. Don't worry, Kenny's in the booth. Kenny, why do you have one whole weed? All right, thank you guys so much. My name's Chaz Hawkins. You have a great rest of the night. Appreciate you.
Guys, keep it going for Chaz Hawkins. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Your ticket sales help give a charitable contribution to the Sacramento Food Bank, which is funny because it's for people that are hungry, but like I look thirsty all the time. I meant to tell that joke during my set. I forgot. But no, thank you so much. Thank you to Chaz Hawkins. If you guys want to come to this is every third Saturday. If you want to see another show that I produce that's half drag, half comedy, that's next Saturday. Otherwise, there's a show at 10 o'clock. So you guys, you know, depending on what you want to do with your date or whatever. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you. And guys, have a good night.
All right, everybody, that is Comedy for a Cause, but we are not done. As Suzette just said, Dear Abby WTF will begin in about 10 minutes, or as long as it takes me to reset the stage. But if you're done with us for the night, please check out stabcomedytheater.com for our full calendar of events. We're live in person Thursdays through Sundays, and we stream everything we do 6 nights a week. If you want to stick around, please do. If you want to get a drink, I'll take care of you up front. In the meantime, I'm going to set up Dear Abby WTF, starting in about 9 minutes.
All right, stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tight and flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? No, I don't know. Turn out the lights and I'll blow to the extreme. I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Rush the speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom dead. When I play a joke, anything less than the bounce is a felony. Love it or leave it. You better gain weight. You better hit the bullseye. The kid don't play. And if there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla ice, ice, baby. Vanilla ice, ice, baby. Vanilla ice, ice, baby. Now that the party is jumping, we hear the bass kicking, the fingers are a pumping. Quick to the point. point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Been a quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi-hat with a souped-up tempo. I'm on a roll and it's time to go solo rolling in my 5.0 with my rag top down so my hair can blow. The girlie's on standby waiting just to say hi. Did you stop? No, I just drove by. Kept on pursuing to the next stop. I busted left and I'm headed to the next stop. That block was dead, yo, so I continue to A1A. Take heed, cause I'm a lyrical poet. Miami's on the scene, just in case you didn't know it. My town that created all the bass sound, enough to shake and kick holes in the ground. Keep my composure when it's time to get loose. Magnetized by the mic when I kick my juice. And if there was a problem with your own soul, check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla, ice, ice, baby. Vanilla, ice, ice, baby. Word to your mother.
Can you hear the banjos? It's a lot of love. Just deliverance. Sorry, I know white people